Hello everyone, welcome back to the Python full course. In our previous lecture, we learned about operators and we also learned about variables, data types, and many more things from taking input, from giving outputs, and whatnot. But think about this, can every program simply execute one line after another? Just imagine you are building an ATM, and if the user provided a PIN which is correct, you will allow it to dispense the money. But if it's a wrong PIN, what will you do? Will you still allow? Of course not. You should display unauthorized access or an error message. Or suppose you're creating a game. If the player's health reaches zero, the game should end. If not, the game should continue. How does Python make these decisions? We will cover these things or conditional statements in today's lecture. So, before that, we covered in the previous lecture, in the very previous lecture, we covered what? Operators. So, we will practice operators and we will have a look over the uh, operator precedence. So I'll tell you what I was telling, that exponents are the only operators which start operating from right to left, whether remaining operates from left to right. We will go through certain examples for it. And if time will allow, we will also go through the looping statements so that after completing conditional and looping statement, half of the image is being cleared in front of you. You can make programs, you can make small, you can create small programs for yourself for fun. After jumping straight into data types, then slowly and steadily we will keep progressing. And in the end, if the course allows, I'll try to teach you Tkinter library. It's a library which allow us to display a GUI, which is graphic user interface, by virtue of which you can create small applications which will have an interactive screen rather than just a simple command line interface. So, with the ongoing pace, we will be looking up to that thing also. So, before that, let's get started with operator precedence order. From top to bottom is you will be seeing all the operators which we have studied. And if but before that, let me clarify one thing. If any one of you is wondering that, okay, we did literals and all, then we completed our identifiers, keywords. So there were total 5 tokens: keywords, identifiers, literals, operators, and punctuators. If you are thinking that we covered keywords, identifiers, literals, and operators, but we haven't covered punctuators, there is a reason to it, because punctuators are nothing but all those symbols, special symbols, which are beyond alphabets, which makes the Python program a language. It's a grammar basically. So for that, we need to learn the syntax of each and everything. Just by knowing that there is a full stop, what's the purpose of a full stop, why we use it, it will make it, for sure will enhance your knowledge, but it won't make you habitual to using it. With the prac- with doing multiple practice sessions, you will by default get an idea, okay, so this is the broader syntax of most of the things, and that's how things goes. So by this approach, we will be covering punctuators. Getting back to operator precedence order, so You need to memorize this order because it does matter. You should at least know that exponential and parenthesis, these are the topmost operators. So, like whenever there is an expression given to you, there is a height. So, you first need to evaluate the parenthesis, then you will evaluate all the exponential values, then you will go for the unary operations. Later on, all the mathematical operations you will do, which is multiplication, division, just like BODMAS. And later on, you will do addition and subtraction. Then bitwise come beyond before after that, and later on we have our comparison operators. Then this order is very important, which is not comes before and comes before or. This order you should memorize, and this parenthesis, the very first parenthesis, then the exponential, then the mathematical expression multiplication, division first, then addition minus, later on the comparison operator, and in Boolean we need to remember not and or. This order is very important. There might be multiple questions in your MCQs whenever you'll be sitting for an exam. So this you should know. Let's practice few questions so that you get to know that what how we deal with this. So there we go. So which operator changes the sign of a number? Here's the very first question. If you have covered previous lecture, you know that minus symbol, which is which is option B. It's the correct answer. Now moving forward, which unary operator reverse a Boolean value? Which is that unary operator which reverses a Boolean value. Is it and or is it or is it not? See, the topic is going here. The question is moving around Boolean values. So is a membership operator. So of course it's not this option for sure. So now it comes which reverses. So which operator reverses the input? Of course, the not operator. So we will go with C, and this is the correct option. Now here it is asking us to guess the output. So here A is equals to 10, and it is using the unary minus operator. The value which will come out is minus 10, so option B is correct. It won't throw an error or it won't throw a none value. So the correct option will be B. Now, binary operators. Which of the following is not a binary operator? Plus is a binary operator, minus is, asterisk is. So C, option C is not a binary operator, it's a unary operator. Sometimes we also consider it as logical. Now, what is the output here? So 15 divided by 4, which is floor division. So 4 to the 8, 3 is 12, then 16. So 3 will be the answer. If you will evaluate it, then also let's you can see there is a correct answer, option A. Now, what does modulo return? So it returns the remainder. You should know. Moving forward, the assignment operator, as I told you, that x is equals to 5 is the initial value, and it is incrementing it by 3. So if we will call x again after doing all these operations, so we will get 8. Let's do the demonstration side by side. If I call it, we get 8, option C. Let's move on. Now it asks which operator multiplies and assigns. So this option A, asterisk is equals to is the assignment operator which does the which assigns multiplication. Now we move forward here on towards relational operators. So which operator checks equality? Option B checks equality. This is the syntax. You should remember it. It's fact. You can't uh, question it. So moving forward, what is the output here? So this is comparison operator. It is comparing two values. Output will be Boolean. So true, false, none, error. Anything can come depending on whatever is being evaluated. So now here you can see it is evaluating 10 is greater than 20. So of course it is true, it's a fact. So no, it's not fact, it's false. So the output we will receive is false. So if I'll evaluate it, it will give me false. There we go. Moving forward to the logical operators. So the question is, which logical operator returns true only when both conditions are true? It returns only true when both conditions are true, the AND operator. So if true and true you do, it will give you true. True and false you do, it will give you false. Typing error. Likewise, and false also false. So that's how we do it. Clearing the terminal. It is asking what is the output. Here, the operator is OR. True or false will give us true as per the OR's truth table. So the output is true. If I'll run this, the output will be true. Uh, the output is true. Now moving towards identity operator, which operator checks if two variables point to the same object? This does not like checks whether these objects are same or not, like locating to the same memory location. It doesn't do that. To use it like that, you have to use id function along with it. Like id object name is equals to id object name. So let's say I create a variable x is equal to 7 and I check id 7 is equals to x. id of x. Sorry, id of x. Here you can see it's true. Now, if I do x is 7, so it is showing that is syntax warning. Did you mean double is equals to? Okay, yes. We cannot use the this is operator, the membership operator, not membership actually, but membership operator is yes. Wait, let me membership operator is in, yes, membership operator is in, this is identity operator. So I got confused. Which operator checks if two variables point to the same? Answer is. Okay. So here I need to create b is equals to 7. A is b. Then also it is showing a is okay. X is b if I do, then it is showing. Now, which operator is the opposite of is? So is not you will use for it. So let's say Python we did x is equal to 7 I made, y is equal to 6 I made, and x is not y. If I do, it give us true. If I do x not is y, it will throw an error, which is invalid syntax. So moving forward, I'll just launch the rebel mode instead. Membership operator. Which operator checks whether an item exists in a list? We use in, and that's how it works. Yes, it works also within the a string literal. Let's say if you created a string, let's say x is equals to Rishabh I create. So action is just move. Give me a second. It's working. Now, here I have created a variable x. If I do r in x, r, you can see that r is present within the this string literal, so it should return true, and yes, it will return true. Also, if I do small r, it is not there because Python is case sensitive. So, and that's a string. So, of course, the ASCII values are different, hence we can do so. Moving forward to the theory questions. So, here A is an apple, so hence it will return true. Now, moving towards bitwise operator, which operator perform bitwise and this does the work. Which operator shift bits to the left? This is the operator. And which operator has the highest precedence? Exponential here. Which operator checks whether two values are equal? This is your answer. Which operator is used for exponent? This is the solution. Which operator returns the remainder? Option A. Which operator performs flow division? So for flow division, we do this. Option C. 24. Which operator checks if an element is not present? So for not in, we do. Then we do which operator is both unary and bitwise? So the answer is option A. Section B, fill in the blanks. I have shared the PDF, so you can practice all these questions on your own. If you feel any doubt or query is there, you can just DM it to me. I'll try to resolve it and share the solution with you. Let's solve few questions where we have to use precedence order. So there's examples here, and let's don't worry about it. I'll if there's an expression 7 plus 7 plus 8 plus 8, what do you think Python will do? Will Python evaluate it from left or from right? For now, it is all addition, so that it won't really make much difference. But what will happen if I do 7 minus 7 plus minus 7 plus 7 minus 7? Here, what is happening? It is doing subtraction, it is doing addition, it is doing subtraction again. The output we got is what? 0. Now, we are unable to still understand or visualize that is it calculating from left or right. If you do this, 23 plus 7, now you do minus 3 plus 1 minus 2 into 2 plus 7, something like this. What will happen? Python, let's not enter it. We will, here you can see this is the expression. Now 23 plus 7 will give you what? It will give you 30. We will evaluate this first thing. We are already at its lexical form. Now moving forward, here you can see exponent, not exponent, but multiplication is here. So this is what it is. According to the precedence order, it's greater. But before that, here you can see there is a unary operator here already. So what will happen? You think it will do minus 2 into 2, or it will do 3 plus 1 minus 2 into 2 plus 7? Now, to clear this confusion, we have this thing, which is the precedence order. We evaluate the parentheses, then we move to the exponents, then we go for the unary operators, then multiplication, then addition. Now let's try to implement this. What we will get here, unary, it is saying it is first, so minus 2 into 2, what we will get, we will get minus 4. So 3 plus 1, 3 plus 1 minus 2 into 2 is minus 4 plus 7. Now this thing is 0 and this is 7. So the output should be 30 minus 7. So the answer we should receive is 23. Let's try to run this and see the solution. You can see that it's 23. So whenever there is an expression given to you, you always need to follow the precedence order, and you should keep in mind that whenever there is any expression given to any operator, you will evaluate from left to right. That is, it is happening 23 plus 7, you will do 23 plus 7. Here you can see it is minus 2, so that's why it is happening like this. Minus 2, we got minus 2 evaluated first, then it got multiplied with 2, we got minus 4, then we added 3 plus 1, it became 4, then we added 4 minus 4, it became 0, then we did 0 plus 7, it becomes 7, and after evaluating it, we got 30 minus 7, then we performed 30 minus 7, we got 23. That's how our interpreter works. Now, for exponents, if you do 2 to the power 3 to the power 4, what do you expect to happen? If we follow this rule left to right, what we will get, I'll just comment it out so that no output for now. So what we are expecting, 2 to the power 3, which is 8, 8 to the power 4, which is 4096. But if I run it, we get a lot bigger values. And this behavior is unexpected. We didn't expect it. This is happening because in exponents, the expression is evaluated from right to left. Here, it will get evaluated as 3 to the power 4. Expression will get evaluated like this: 2 to the power 4, parenthesis 3 to the power, like this. So if I run this, you see exact same value. Now 3 to the power 4 gives us 81, and 2 to the power 81 gives us same result we got from here. So this is one thing which you should keep in your mind, that okay, for normal operations, we need to go from left to right whenever the precedence order is same, and whenever the precedence order is different, we will go with the precedence order itself. And when the precedence order is same, left to right for all operators except the exponential operators. So moving forward, we will now answer to the very first question by which we started today's lecture, that how we will take decisions in Python. For that, we use conditional statements, that is if, elif, else block, and then we have match case. So we will go through these and we will try to solve these two questions. If you are already comfortable with it, you can try to solve these questions and skip the video if you want to, and check the solution whether you did it correct or not. But I won't suggest that. I will suggest that you stick around with the video and move gradually. So let's start with the very first, which is if statement. In the previous lecture, if you can recall, I told you that we use if, elif, and else. These are they keyword or are they not? If you remember, they are the keywords which we studied in our third, fourth, fifth lectures. So the point is, whenever you want to take some decision, you will use these. For example, let's take a demonstration here. So is the so whenever you want whenever you want to create choices, you will use conditional statements. And for that, how to use, we will learn the syntax of it. The syntax is very simple. You will use the if keyword, all small, then you will write the condition. Whatever is the condition statement you will write here with the help of all those operators which we studied in the very previous lecture, not even the second, third, or something. The this lecture number 7. In the lecture number 7, we did cover all those operators. So whenever you want to compare, there is a thing called comparison operators. You will use those. So moving forward, you will use all the relevant operators and you will form a condition statement. Whenever you will be done with the statements, you will enter by default, your editor will create a tab space here. So this makes what? This creates a if condition block. So Python knows that this block is different from the whole code. This is only relevant to this block. And then you can use elif, again same condition, then this thing, uh, I just don't want it to look like this, so I'll just do this one so that it looks good. Condition and the block statements. So just because so that I can use these variables, that's why I have passed none to them. It has nothing to do with the program. Another thing which you should take note of is that whenever you are writing if, elif, else code blocks, you should know that you should know that else condition, whenever there is else block, else don't take any condition in it. Only if, elif takes conditions. Now, all the possible combinations you can make. You can use if, you can only use if, then you can use if, elif, then you can use if, elif, else. And one interesting thing, you can create as many elif blocks as you want. You can create multiple elif blocks. So there's literally no restriction to it, but there should be at least one if block to start elif. And also you can do if, else, that's it. You cannot have an elif block and else block without if block. If block is the must. And regarding else block is optional, but elif block is also optional. But what distinguish it is that else block take all the condition which were not mentioned in any of the condition above. It will take care of all those conditions. So if I'll try to demonstrate you a little program, let's say we create a program, we have a question for us. So let's try to solve this question. So the question says there is a magical kingdom which has gate that only allow adults inside. So every visitor enters their name and age, and the gate follow these rules. The very first rule is if age is 18 or more, it should print welcome name. You may enter the kingdom. Otherwise, it need to print sorry name. You are too young. For example, the sample case is given to us is if input is name Aryan, age 20, the output should be I'll write the output because it's not written. So output should be just give me a second, I'll just paste it. So welcome. The name is Aryan. So welcome Aryan. You may enter the kingdom should be the output. So for that, how we will write the code. The syntax we know there will be if and some condition. Now, before that, we need to set up something. We need to take name input. So we will take name input. We don't need to typecast it because we are just taking the name input. So enter your name. Name by capital. I'll create a variable age. We need to typecast it because input by default creates a string type literal, and we need to convert it into an integer because we are taking input for age. So input age, we will take enter your age, and like this we have done the we have created all the necessary inputs which is required for the program to function. Now we will create the situation, like we will make our program to take a decision here. If age is greater than, if the age is 18 or more, so we can use if age is greater than equal to 18, it needs to print something. Now, if you remember, it was welcome name. You may enter the kingdom. So, if you do remember the concept of the from the starting lectures, there was a concept of formatted string. We will use formatted string along with conditional statements to make this program. Now, if this condition is not evaluated, I want it to run this, which is it should tell that okay, sorry, you are not eligible, you are too young. So, sorry, then the name placeholder will be required. You are too young. So we will make it a formatted string again. If you will run this program, or we'll just use this. Can we run it and repeat it? It is asking me to enter your name. I'll enter my name, which is Rishabh. It is asking me to enter my age, which is 20. So, welcome, Rishabh. You may enter the kingdom. The output which we receive. Now, as we are done with this, So let's try to rerun it for a different value. So let's sample him Aryan we will take, and let's say his age is 16. Sorry, Aryan, you are too young. Here you can see that the program is able to distinguish between two numbers, which is being given by the user, and can give two different message on the screen. So this is the feature or the function of the conditional statement, that this is how they work, and this allows you to create uh, by use of this you can take decisions in your programs. So let's understand how these works. This was how you can use the syntax. Now you need to understand its functioning. So if you will have a look over here, you can see the program will start, the if condition will be there, and then it will have multiple bodies: if body, if elif body, if else body, elif body, I mean, and then the else body. So this is a if condition, elif condition, else condition, and then the statements, their respective statement or their respective blocks. The program will start. It will start executing from the very top. This is condition one. This will get evaluated. If this condition is true, then the program will execute the statement within this if block. It will execute it. It will then end the condition block. If this condition is false, no worries, we still have more conditions forward. It will move towards condition 2. It will check if it's true or false. If it's true, it will execute the block and terminate the program. If it's false, it will move forward to the next condition. If it's true, it will execute the conditional block. If it's not, it will end the program. Likewise, you can add multiple conditions. If you ran out of the condition and you still want to display a message out of all these conditions, you can use the else block. So the else block will only execute when all these conditions mentioned above it went false. So if all those were false, this will get executed and the program will terminate. So this is how the if elif else statement works. So this is the flow of the if elif else conditional statements. Uh, you can use them to, let's use, now it looks better. So as a, it states that you can execute when condition is true or false and can act according to the facts. Whenever you are in certain such situation, you can just use these. Now there is also a concept of match case statements, which where this is for pattern matching. So it gets executed when condition is true or false and can act according to the fact. So whenever you want to match any pattern, let's say for example, we have certain cases, case 1, case 2, case 3, the default case. So if you have this is the syntax you can refer to. So match whatever you are trying to match. So every case has its block which will get executed. You need to break it, otherwise all the switches uh, will act. So let's have a demonstration here so that you know. So we had a variable, it's day 2. If I call day, Yes, it's there. So we created a variable day2. Now I not switch case but match. In Python we use match. So we will do match day, and it is showing. Let's just use this thing. It's 3 equals to 2. Then we will match day, and then we will have cases like when it's Monday, case 2, print Tuesday, and then we will have case default. Now I want you to notice one behavior here. Instead of 2, I enter 1, and we will run the file. So what you can see here, that the output is coming Monday as when days equals to 1. Now it will be more visible. So now the day is 1. So this case is matching. So this will get executed. If I do print day, it's and now it's okay. If we rerun this, days Monday gets executed. Let's change the day. Now we will change it. If I run this, here you can see it is showing Tuesday. Likewise, if you pass any value which is beyond this, 4, 5, anything, what will happen? This underscore is used to address the else condition here. So you can use it. Here you can see default case is being printed when the value is not matching. So this is how you can use match case. Uh, this is one of the conditions. It comes under the category of conditional statements only. So you should try to use it, and let's implement it. Let's use this to implement this question, which is name input, like not this one. So if you want to implement it using match cases, so how you will do it? We have name, age as input here. So now we need to match values. So we will match what? We will match age. So whenever uh, values are like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. It matches any of this. Ask it to print this thing. Else, the default case, which is this. Let's print this. So as you can see that our program is let's try to run it. If you will try to run it, it is asking, let's enter our name by enter 20. Welcome, Bishop. You may enter the kingdom. But here's by the way, I forgot to tell you that whenever you want to compare, like match multiple cases, you need to use this pipe symbol between to make a, s- a sequence where this case will, these many cases will result in the same output. So you need to remember the syntax. So what is happening here right now? We are taking the input name and age. Then we are matching the age and we are checking whether any underage is there. If underage is there, we will print sorry name, you are too young. Else we will print welcome, you may enter the kingdom. But can you figure out one edge case here which will fail this, which is any negative value? Let's say we rerun this again. Let me close this so that you can view it better. Now it is much more visible. Now if we rerun this, you will see it is asking me to enter a name. I'll again, but what if I enter -1? Welcome, Rishabh. You may enter the kingdom. Is it a desired output? No, of course not. Let's try to run this program and check whether here -1 is resulting in the same output. No, not, because in if else we are covering a whole range here. The range is for your better visualization. This is we have a minus infinity here. Then we have our 18, not 18, 18 like this. So whenever the condition is like this whole range will result in false. So what will happen? Our else block will get executed. That's why uh, this if else condition block is operating in a much wider and detailed block. Whereas in our switch case condition blocks, which we use to solve the same question, we have considered only these many conditions from 0 till 17. Even if you have entered a value like decimal, then it will still work, because here you can see we're typecasting it into integer. So that's why the value will get typecasted and will be rounded off. If above zero point 0.5, then it will be rounded off to our next value. If it's below zero point 0.5, it will be rounded off to its very base value itself. So that's one thing you should know. Now we have phase one issue here. So how we will solve it? Because as a software engineer or as a developer, we need to give solution to all those errors which we face. So I'll just copy this code here again and I'll paste it. And let's figure out a solution to it. To use match case here, you can do one thing. Instead of this, you make a condition here. Condition is what? Age should be greater than equal to 18. Right? This is an expression which will get evaluated. True, false, boolean values will come. So we are restricted to only few literals. So here, if it's false, you give me this, print sorry, if otherwise you give me this. If it's true, then give me this. And even though if I am not using, let's say, means all, so if the value is none, then what we will do? So for that condition, I have taken this. So sorry for the voice crack. Due to speaking for a long time, my throat is aching. Now, if I run this code, I will see the behavior is now similar to the if else block. I'll enter the name, right? And if I do -10, it is showing, okay, enter something. Okay. And if I do run it again, pressure, then it is again asking enter something. Now let's try to understand that why it is doing so. If condition is equals to, if condition is, let's add parentheses here. So if we go through this code, we can see that we are taking name and age. Then we are evaluating condition. Later on, okay, here's the, can you see this? On the fourth line here, we are matching age. But what we need to match? We need to match condition. So this need to be edited. Due to this, we were facing the unexpected result. So this is part of programming. Nothing new to us. We learn and make mistakes. I'll just correct it here and condition. If we run this here, we will be able to execute it without any issue. Let's write a name and age as 16 if I do. Sorry, Riddhi, you're too young because age I entered was 16. Let's say you want to also show the age, how many years still left. You can do that too. In fact, try to write the code for it. And this is your homework. Post your solution in the comments, letting me know that, okay, sir, I solved this. Moving forward to our next question. Before that, I would like to demonstrate you another method over match case, but how you can implement like the range condition. I have demonstrated you two ways. One another way is like you can use pattern matching with indirectly as a guard. You can do it. So let's have a look here. You took the input. Okay, we will match age only. So match age. Here, what we will do, we will match the condition within this block itself. That condition match age. Now here case is x if condition is greater than equal to 18. Like this you can do. Okay. So what will happen here? Not greater than, but less than 18. So then we will print this. In case true, print here. We will use the default case and we will just comment all these out. Mm. Here you can see there was an error. It was trying to display. It was because we can have only one else block. Likewise, we can have only one by default case. So That's why it was showing us an error. We can have a look. Here you can see that in irrefutable pattern is allowed only for the last case statement. So that's why let's remove this and let's try to run this. If I run this, I enter a name. Let's add age 16. Sorry, Vatika, you're too young. If I rerun this, 19, welcome, hi, you may enter the game. So by this, you can use match case. Now we are done with conditional statements. In the next lecture, we will cover one more topic, which is looping statements. So after doing it, we will try to print patterns with the help of if else and looping statements. We will use them all together to print all alphabets from A, B, C, D, E, F, G like this. I'll demonstrate you how you will be doing it, and the rest will be your homework. So do try to figure out the patterns. You have to divide it in the matrix blocks so that you can have a better understanding and visualization. So for now, as I displayed you the questions, now we will be solving this question. So a school checks marks of students. The rules are that 90 or above, you have to give excellent. If it's between 89 or 75, you will give very good. 60 or 74, it's good. And 40, 59 will pass. Below 40, just give fail. So we have to write a program that asks the student name, marks, and print the result. Let's make this program. And there we go. So what does our question demands is? So it is demanding that a school checks marks for student. If I paste it, this is the question. You can have a look at up. So, these are the requirements that 90 or above, excellent and all. So we need one thing, that is marks. Now we will take in, we can take a float input also because marks can be in decimal. So enter marks. We are done with it. I'll tell you one interesting concept, which is not looping, but laddering of if else block. That how you can use if else within it. That you can chain them all together. So if marks is greater than 100, not greater than and less than equal to 100, and let me and marks greater than equal to 0. I'll use this for now. Else print enter valid marks. Enter valid marks. Otherwise, if someone cannot score above 100 and less than 0, I mean, of course, in competitive exam we can score in negatives, but still, for now, we will not consider it. So here is a condition. If this condition get fulfilled, the block will be passed and the else condition won't get executed. So if you will run this, then you will see, let's 101 we will enter valid marks. We run this, enters 80, you will see like nothing happened, it closed. So that's how it works now. we will do laddering or the chaining. If marks is greater than 90, greater than equal to 90, print excellent else if condition if marks is greater than 70 it was so 75 75 print very good else if marks greater than 60 print pass was it pass okay good and 40 pass else print fail. So this is the program which will give us the our desired output. If you will run this program, you will see it is asking us to enter marks. We will enter 80. So it is giving us very good. Now if you see the condition, 80 falls in this block, so 75 to 89, so it gives us very good. If I give any value greater than 90, so it's a 91, it gave me 91. If value less than 30 or 30, it will just give fail. If you will give any value which is beyond 100 or 0, beyond the range, like minus 50, it will give enter valid marks. So this is how you can create programs. You can create any program which you want. You can create small programs like to verify whether a user is adult or not, or whether a password is correct or not. You can do so with the help of conditional statements. That's it for today's lecture. For this lecture, in the upcoming lecture, we will be covering looping statements. After that, we will start practicing pattern printing. It's a very interesting thing. You will love it. So, till then, take care, bye bye, and keep practicing.